Welcome back to the Beckoning Mists, a Curse of Strahd campaign played by these fine individuals you see here, and DM'd by myself, Matthew Bliss. If we could quickly go around, or rather down the Discord list, um, and say our character's name and our own name as well.
Yes, of course. My name is Brad, and I will be playing Aiden Newell.
It's Zach. At least that's what it legally is. Uh, my character's name is Sudriel Balric. For all intents and purposes, he is banned from Ohio.
My name is Braden. I will be playing Victor, and why did I say it like Victor? Anyways, he is widowy, a mad fliggin' scientist.
Yikes.
Yeah, my name is Mirio, and I'll be playing Obi. No, I'm Obi. I'll be playing Mirio.
I love sport.
I'm Linnea, and I play Sage and Pulis, who just cannot stand
Can't stand who?
chaos.
My name is Addie, and I am playing Brittany.
It's Brittany, bitch.
My queen.
It's Brittany, bitch.
Slay.
The bitch.
Last we left off, the party had just made their way across the rolling, rotting plains of Barovia, under the terrible pillar rock of the foothills leading into the misted mountains to the north, and into a village, the likes of which you have not seen, because this place, of all places that you have been before, be it backwater or bastion, has been afflicted. You can tell it's been afflicted by many, many years of misery. The houses sag, they huddle together like seeking warmth from each other. And in their dilapidated collective state, you walked in and began to discover the village of Barovia for yourselves. Some of you found old familiar faces, but not in that happy way that old friendly acquaintances often meet. Rather, you saw the individuals who tried to pilfer your pockets from the tavern in Daggerford. And after a heated exchange, you went your separate ways, a little more gruff about the situation you found yourselves in, if not just a little bit pleased with being able to tell somebody off without consequence. Others of you found a strange portrait maker, a man in the town square, whose unkempt appearance belied his artistic ability, and you paid for a quick charcoal caricature in a sense, although not in the fairground sense that we might be familiar with. The art that you procured seemed to accentuate the shadows and the melancholy aspect of your person. Others of you still made your way into Bildrath's Mercantile, and upon just a brief conversation with the proprietor, Bildrath, you discovered his mercantile aspect was a little overinflated. And so leaving, you rejoined with the rest of your group and decided to find a small place to hole up for the evening. Having discovered that there was no such inn available to you for such activities, you instead decided to look around town. And that is where we begin tonight's session. Having infiltrated, you might say, or rather cleared an abandoned house in the center of town, you found shelter in the basement, wherein there was a hearth and enough room that all of you, although in a cramped manner, were able to sleep off your deprivation. You slept through the latter part of the afternoon, and as you began to stir, and as the smoke and the soot from the fire burns low and the coals glow deep, deep orange, You look outside and remember with a chill that you are not in any inn. You're not in Daggerford anymore. The creature comforts you once knew have almost been robbed from you. The damp of the cellar has made its way across your skin, into your hair. You've got that wet, matted feeling at the base of your scalp. And you wake, rubbing the sleep out of your eyes, a little worse for wear, mentally. But physically, you feel as if you're back at where you would like to be for another period's worth of adventuring throughout this strange and foreign land. And it's as you are all arousing from drowsy sleep that you hear a scratching at the door. You look to it, and you see that the light from the evening is very, very dim, but not black. The pitch of night has not blanketed this place yet, although you suspect that the same cloud cover that you saw earlier permeates the atmosphere outside. As you wake, who wakes first, and what do you do?
I might have not gotten much sleep in general, so I probably would have awoken kind of first, and probably wouldn't have done a whole lot. I would have probably whittled a little bit with some wood that I have. Currently, I have a long, nice piece of wood that I have been carving and kind of forming into the shape of a bow.
Sajin's a fairly light sleeper, so she probably, I probably would have woke fairly quickly, kind of with a jolt at hearing, realizing that nothing's really the matter. Had a deep sigh and then kind of just paid attention, stayed awake, but just listened to see if I going on around.
I have a question. Just a housekeeping question.
Yes.
Would, during our long rest, would we've been able to do one of my medicine checks?
Medicine checks such as
Yes.
For my organ damage, for my internal...
organ damage. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Who rolls?
So it's a medicine check, right?
And
Yes,
medicine's
that's correct.
decent. It's
I have
plus
here is the
3.
DC is 8.
Oh yeah,
So
mine's plus. So Braden, you were at.
What'd you say? You broke up there. I'm sorry.
I said mine's a +3, so.
Oh, well, you can go ahead. And do it.
Obi, the DC is 15 to succeed the check. The DC is the 8 for if you're taking
in
actions.
combat. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Beautiful. Thank you. I had that backwards.
Yep, you're good. Also, is it the exhaustion level removed from long rest?
The exhaustion is removed. You awake, refreshed.
Who's making the medicine check?
I rolled exactly a 15.
15. As the fire begins to die down, not fully, but as the flames begin to flicker low, and everybody is beginning to make preparations for sleep, before you slept, of course. Mirio, Sadrin attended to the wounds that you bore, and you, the two of you, assessed what exactly had gone wrong. Prodding gently, you discovered that some of your abdominal organs had suffered bruising of a sort which need time to heal. And in so discovering, you begin the journey to heal. But until the time when you are fully recovered, you will have to bear the burden of the effects of having bruised internal organs. So you can knock 1 tally off of that.
I went ahead and ticked it up.
After 10 successes, your organ damage will be resolved.
That's 2 down.
Let's go.
And we're level 2, right?
You are level 2.
I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, Linn, can you delete that note for exhaustion in the status effects?
Yeah.
I think
Given
Muriel-
your histories, your characters' histories, I suspect this is a strange moment for the both of you.
Yeah, Sagen, I don't know what to, like, I don't have a conversation.
keep breaking
Come
up.
again?
You're breaking. Mike's breaking.
You might be
Your
far
mic
from
is,
your mic.
is.
Hold on.
What mic are you using? Talk to the microphone.
How does that work? Does that work better?
That
Okay,
is
cool.
Louder.
way better.
I wouldn't know how to have a conversation, like what to talk about while, you know, checking all his injuries. I'd probably like continue to apologize, like if I pressed on something too hard and he like winced or whatever, like, are you okay? Like, does this hurt? But like other than that, probably wouldn't talk much. Yeah.
Stony
Does
silence.
Muriel have that like stoic machismo?
Yeah. Stoic silence. Even when you press on him in a way that should, you definitely should warrant a grunt. You see just his lips beneath the bushy mustache just go.
Mamma mia.
No sound, just
Yeah.
It lends a sort of somberness to the already somber tone of your resting party. Some of you even drift off as the quiet medical assessment goes on. And then it's over, and you're able to sleep for the evening. Whether or not you started watch, somewhat immaterial, because you all fall asleep, resolving your exhaustion in turn. I have a question. Is anybody here an elf, a full elf?
I don't think so.
Okay, just double check.
No, I don't think I am. Oh, I might be. Hold up. Let me check my race real quick.
I definitely don't know.
I sure as a chant.
It's under your name.
Yeah, technically I would be.
Then it is Sudril who wakes first, or rather, emerges from trance. You rouse sometime around 5 o'clock, so to speak. And you look outside to see the gray, wan light of Barovia. You would have some time to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Kind of waking up first, or kind of coming to first. Looking around, I would kind of like peer around and look outside just to see if I see any life. I'll probably watch for a couple minutes. See if I see anybody or anything kind of stirring, or like anybody getting up and doing anything around town just through the shutters of the window. But if I don't see anybody, I'll probably kind of like sit on the ledge right there by the door and begin to read over the journal that I have.
Waking from your trance, you decide to take up a post, so to speak, by the old windowsill. You peer over its crumbling shelf and look out to see what the people of this village would be getting up to at this hour. Your your ability to surveil the activities of everybody is somewhat curtailed by the limited space afforded by the window. Um, can I do this? Hold up.
What, get him in the cell?
See
Wow.
that?
Yeah. Very intense Miria.
Always.
Yeah.
Also,
It's a move.
Damn, that's intense.
It's
Oh my
literally
God,
just
no,
the
please don't
eyes.
make him
That's
look at me.
literally. Wait, what did I say? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I didn't steal your mushrooms. I'm
Anyways.
sorry.
you're asleep.
Weird question.
All right. Yes?
It's blurry for me, zoomed in this much. Is there a way for me to change that? Because I'm looking at the stream and it's crystal clear.
That's weird.
It is likely in your graphics settings then. That's my first guess.
Like it looks like the blurry of it like being zoomed in too much, you know? Like when you zoom in on a camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably just a graphic setting then.
Okay.
Freaking Brad, your
Proceed.
mushrooms are attached to your
Yeah,
action booth.
yeah. I say Mario's just like laden in mushrooms right there. Just at that point, like it's been a rough night.
in this house.
I'm a goon.
Anyways.
Now Mario's
Oh,
being
just a
executed, but that's fine.
Roll perception.
Look at the
Sudhir.
field setting.
Perceptiveness, don't fail me now. That's gonna fail me now.
Did you hear that, Linn?
No.
Eight.
That's the field. That's your setting. On an 8, you peer out and try to ascertain the attitudes of the people and the activities. The activities that they undergo, but you're not able to get a bead on the rhythms of this place. The people move around like they don't have much to do. They sniffle and cough and generally look very, very disheveled. And their clothes are drab, old. It's through this vantage that at one point you see a old lady. She pushes a small cart around, and you're only afforded a small glimpse of her shuffling around with this cart before she passes between the alley that you were looking at her through.
Is this the same old woman that we saw at the well the other day?
Oh.
Okay.
That would be earlier today in game.
Or yeah.
Through the window, even, you hear the sound of small wooden wheels rolling across the damp cobbles. And you trace that sound to the lonely figure, hunched and bundled in rags, pushing her rickety cart through the fog. Once she is gone, you have a relative silence to reflect upon your journaling, and you begin to write, but after just a few sentences, your ears pick on something else. A low wail in the distance. It's the same one that you remember hearing on your way into this town. It sounds like a broken person, unable to do much other than bemoan their circumstance. It pierces through the haze of concentration that you had gathered up to write in your journal and record the events of the past few days, and distracts you for just a moment. You have the choice to either listen in or to focus back on your writing. What is your choice?
I'd probably listen in inadvertently, because it is sort of dominating my attention, and just being frustrated, unable to focus on the notes, I think I'd have no other choice really than to just listen.
Were this any other town, you may have had a hard time hearing this sound, but this place, this silence, the streets are empty virtually, and the people that walk them do not make much sound. So that when you hear the soft wails, you know that they are something that would normally be shielded, but now they are laid bare. You have a hard time telling what direction that they come from, though, given that the window is really the only semi-permeable aspect of this very rock-hewn basement. Or how should I say, cobble-hewn. After some time, it becomes easy to just let the sound fade and to resume your concentration as if it was the strange, slow beat of this town. A strange one, but with a bit of satisfaction, and reflecting upon your earlier inability to comprehend the rhythm of this village, you understand that that sob is the rhythm, slow and cyclical. Aiden wakes sometime into your journaling and pulls out a project of his own, something to concentrate on. And then Sadrin soon after wakes to the rasp with a jolt, wakes to the rasp of the blade that Aiden uses to slowly peel the wood back into an archer's, an archery-worthy form. And as you all begin to rise slowly from sleep, you remember just pieces of the dreams that you had. If you dreamt at all, that is. They were as the land. Blurry, misted, and full of horrors, unknowns that you could not see. Who would you say, who among you would you say would be the last to rise? Victor.
Yeah, he'd be a slow riser to the point where, you know, he might hear some noise around him and he'd be kind of muttering to himself like, "No, Zoran, no, stay away from my stuff. No, I'll tell Dad. No, no, I'll tell. Wait, uh-huh, huh? Oh,
Obi,
yes,
your
yes,
mic's a little,
yes. That's where we went.
let's get
Sorry.
Jeez. Victor, in your dreams, what do your dreams typically consist of? Are they everywhere, or are they, would you say, more lucid than not?
I would say his dreams usually consist of him grasping something, like a new idea or an invention or a magical property or a scientific property. And he constantly has the dream where he figures something out that's huge and everything makes sense just for a second.
In your dreaming, you are in Barovia. You have found a place that affords you laboratory opportunities, and as you enter this place, you find that it is open to you completely, as places and dreams tend to be. And as tend to be dreams, you also find that everything makes sense. The sequence of things, your ability to act and enact upon the world, and to form solutions to problems that make sense in the dream. And of course they make sense, because why wouldn't they? You create a potion in your dream and drink it, and for just a moment you're able to focus on things as you never have before. It is no drug, because it was engineered that to be just a moment of pure focus. And as you imbibe it and revel in its effects, you hear in the back of your head a tap. First one, and then again, tick, tick, and then a scrabbling, like fingers against stone. You brush it off, keeping your focus intact. It's easy with this potion you've made, but soon, even after you've assembled those barriers to protect your train of thought, the scrabbling and the tapping has gotten loud. Too loud. Loud enough that your concentration breaks, fails completely. You throw the vial against the wall, and that is when you wake. Writhing around the floor in the mid-toss, and then bolting into wakefulness. Roll a perception check.
18.
On an 18, between pants brought on by the activity of your dream and focusing past the strange stares that you now get, you hear it. It's there. And then somebody speaks. Who would address Victor if he suddenly twitched his way into being awake?
I'd probably whisper, "Are you okay?"
Yes, I'm fine. Just that damnable dream. I tell you. It's all
Is
good.
it? You sure?
Oh yeah. I just have this recurring dream where I find like all the world's problems and the greatest inventions in magic, and it makes sense for all but a minute, and then it goes away, and then I kind of wake up mad because I do it for a second, but who knows? Because it was a dream. I don't know.
I hate those dreams.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst, indubitably.
Well, I'm glad that you're actually okay.
Thank you.
You finish this conversation and throw off the sense of a dreadful dream, only to have the tapping, the scrabbling again. It's here somewhere. And judging by everybody else, nobody else hears it.
He kind of puts his pinky in his ear, gives it a. Does anybody else hear that incessant tapping? I thought it was just in my dream, but I've been awake for several minutes now. I should not be having any more dreams or hallucinations. You can't hear that.
Do we hear it?
Roll perception.
All of us?
Everybody who would respond to that.
Because I definitely would.
It's only a 9 from me.
That's a nat 20.
Hey,
Yo!
Yeah, that's it for a 21. That's a nat 20.
5.
A critical success is a critical success.
Uh-huh.
A 5, okay.
Is that first 20 of the campaign?
Well, on a nat 20, Sadrin, you lock into the disquieted nature that Victor has suddenly taken on and treat it with some sort of credence. You shush everybody momentarily and listen hard. You hear it, a rasping as nails and flesh on stone. That sort of resonance that a piece of large rock will have. You hear the scraping, the scrabbling. It's somewhere in this room. You try to focus on it, and on a nat 20, you think it's to the left of the table. Low, somewhere, not high. You see a bit of loose stone.
Like loose as in like loose enough to move it loose?
Yes, some of it has cascaded onto the floor over the years. Not as much as in this map, but enough that you know something might be in there. Behind the wall, even.
Could I start to try to remove some of that stone?
Yeah. You find enough purchase to begin wriggling the decaying mortar out of place, and you begin to take the stones of the foundation apart. Not enough to collapse it, mind you, but enough so that you can see if there's something behind it. You think back to just earlier and remember that there were stairs somewhere. Surely they might be hollow, you think. You continue to scrabble. The rest of you watch as this begins to happen. Does anybody react at all?
I'll get up as I can also hear it, and make my way over.
Shoot.
What kind of light? Torchlight? Lantern light?
Yes, it would be a torch.
You quickly take your torch and plunge it into the coals. It lights after a moment and flickers to life. You bring it over as Sadrin begins unpiling the stones in the wall, and you see that there is indeed a hollow space behind. Something white glances at you from the wan light. Something not quite bleached.
Glances at me.
The light of the torch glitters upon it. I'll put it that way.
As he holds the torch, he goes, Sadrin, I'm all about discovering creepy crypts and what they might hold. But I am concerned we might have a visitor behind this wall. And he, here, chunk, as he, like, readies his returning weapon.
One man's returning weapon is another man's finger guns.
Literally.
Can I see anything? Or not really?
Roll perception again, because what you're trying to look at has changed.
Okay. That is a 3.
You peer
So I don't see
into
anything.
You peer into the space, and not even the bit of material that I described just now presents itself.
How big of a space have I created in the stone?
Enough to stick your hand through.
I'll stick my hand through and see if I can feel anything that's not stone. And if I do, try to pull it back through the hole.
You plunge your hand through the hole and into the darkness. Victor, your sight of what is through the hole is blocked. And Sadrin, you gingerly, in the dark where you cannot see, touch around the space to see if there is anything worth grabbing. You pad around, and your hand strikes something cold and hollow, you think, by the rattling sound it makes when it is disturbed by the force of your hand. And it's just then that you feel a sliding sensation across the wrist, and then a vice grip. I need you to make a strength save.
Oh boy. Okay. 16.
You attempt to wrest your hand from the wall, but the hole that you made is not large enough because whatever is gripping you is gripping tight. You feel it dig into the soft flesh of your wrist. Sudriel, you hear the scrabbling as well. This time not against stone and dirt, but against the door.
Is it on the outside?
It is on the outside, scrabbling and tapping.
As
do you say
it's
anything,
kind of
Sadrin, by the way?
I would probably, if I can't remove my hand at all, which I'm assuming then it's stuck there, with the vice grip around my wrist, I'd probably say like, Victor, I might have a problem. I can't get it out. And I kind of turned like my head over my shoulder with this worried like, can you help me? kind of look.
I mean, I will attempt to help her.
All right, you may roll strength. You may roll another strength save, Sadrin. Now, Sudriel.
One more question before I give you my answer. Does the door open out toward the outside or toward the inside?
It does open in.
Okay. I'm gonna try and kind of like peer outside and sort of peer as much as I can, kind of through the shutters to see if I see like somebody's legs or like somebody, or anything I can from the slit that looks at the door as much as I can. I know it's not gonna be great.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll perception. Meanwhile, Mirio, Brittany, Aiden, you all hear this scrabbling at the door and the tapping as well. What are your reactions?
I'll kind of put myself together. I'll lay down my my project and kind of throw on my stuff. Preparation for the unexpected.
I'm sorry. Discord didn't pick up that last part.
I just throw on my gear in preparation for something.
Mirio would, picking up his pack and his maul, grunting from the pain of his wound, look over and just say, "What is going on over there?"
Are you looking at the door or are you looking at Victor and myself when you're asking that?
The two of you.
Oh, okay, cool.
So Victor has put down the torch, sticking it in maybe like a crack in the wall or wherever he could set it that it wouldn't be burning anything down. And you would see Victor with his hand on, like his hands on Sudriel, Sadrin.
You're good.
With one boot on the wall, like, well, it would appear that our companion is stuck to something in here, maybe a skeleton man, I don't know. I'm trying, but I'm not exactly physically gifted. Would you mind giving us a hand? I know you're quite, wahoo.
I rolled a 16 again.
Rolled another 16.
Yeah.
You attempt to use the combined force of your physical prowesses to wrench yourself free, but the grip is such that as you attempt to do so, you actually feel a sharp pain in the lower part of your hand as whatever it is that is gripping you acts as a stopper, so to speak, and actually you're beginning to leverage your hand out of socket. You stop with a grunt.
Cool. Probably a slight yelp in there too.
Yes.
Mirio would walk over with one hand on his hip and like approach to like look over their shoulders at the door. It's a door.
No.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Well, there is a door, but what they have found is not. What they have found is a small hole in the wall.
Is it wood?
It is stone.
First, then Mirio will look at Sadrin. May I
Sure.
grab Sadrin's forearm and just boot on wall yank?
I'm gonna lose my hand.
All right, I need
You'll be out.
Sadrin to make a con save. DC 10.
Wait, you need to make me make a con save?
Yes.
Okay. Oh gosh.
Mirio's not very wise, guys. That's how he never noticed Peach was kind of
Missing.
missing.
Ending up at Bowser's place twice a week.
Bowser's
that-
4 times a week.
That is a 9.
On a 9, Mirio grips your upper forearm in a similar vice, places a boot against the wall, and before you can do anything, rips your hand out from the wall. You take 1 bludgeoning damage.
Lovely. Ooh, not 12. Jeez.
And, yeah, actually.
What did you roll down a small ramp covered in stones.
No, that's my job.
Right.
My
Yeah.
hand, elbow, and shoulder are now.
Your
on
hand
socket.
comes out from the hole and it is scratched and scarred. Unless you've got some sort of like cloth covering it, like a
No.
long shirt sleeve or something.
Mm-mm.
In which case the cloth would be ripped. Your hand is wrenched free, but it's stinging from its exit. You hear a hollow sound, like nails on stone, and then through the hole crawls a hand. I need you all to roll initiative.
Ooh.
Let's go.
I'm assuming I'm dripping blood, right?
Cool.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Not like everywhere, but like it's enough to get
Is it
a
like
little bit of blood.
full forearm, or is it like just wrist? to
No,
hand?
I would say wrist to hand,
Okay,
probably.
Cool.
A deep enough gash.
Yeah. It's gonna leave a cool
If
scar
you've
once
got
it
combat,
heals.
yeah.
How'd you get
If
this
you've
one from a rock?
If you've got combat music, now is the time to play it.
Thank you. Good moment. Ooh, Haagen-Dazs.
Ooh, Haagen-Dazs.
Damn, I'm being treated today. That dude deserve it.
What did you do wrong?
What did I do right?
What is
my
she
guy?
gonna ask you for?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, it's
So,
supposed to be like-
what did
it's supposed to
she
be
do
hard.
wrong?
I asked her, what did you do? She's like, no, definitely not tax evasion.
That's not. I mean, I would get ice cream for that.
All right, starting from the top of the Discord order and moving down, what are your initiative rolls?
It's a 19 from Aiden.
That's a 9. Not 19, 9.
Yeah.
Strong start. We're back.
14.
Muted.
7.
15.
I got an 18.
What was your Sadrin?
15.
And Brittany?
18.
Okay. Good. Starting at the top of initiative. I don't have a hand, so this is it.
Up.
Oh, you can't even see it. Lol. There it is.
That's a
Yes, a
glorious
hand.
hand. I love it.
I know. It's a hand that has hands.
Oh, there's definitely a skeleton back there.
A hand with hands.
I know it was a skeleton.
I knew it.
Mirio, lunging from the hole directly at you, the claw hops out and splays wide, long nails open and sharp, ready to collapse in and rake you across your face. What is your AC?
16.
All right. You take 2 slashing damage as the claw closes in and scrapes against your skin, then falling back down to the ground and skittering around behind you. It shows itself to the rest of the party. It's an old thing, moldy. Mold grows on the flesh of this thing, and the tendons of it move. You can see the glisten of them as somehow still vital. They skitter around the room. We're on to the next one, which also pops out of this hole and is going to try to make a swipe.
Jeez, how many dead skeletons are there? Yeah, whatever.
Zombie
It
babies.
tries to thud against your armor, Mirio, unsuccessfully, and falls to the ground, again skittering as the other one does as well. We are on to Aiden with Brittany on deck.
Alright. Aiden will. I guess. Whoa, okay. He's gonna just draw his rapier, pull it out of the scabbard real quick, and he's gonna hit the one that kind of jumped past Mirio and is on the ground there. Oops, did not mean to do that. There we go.
All right, roll to hit.
Does a 10 hit?
No. Nimble, somehow with some sense of perception, it is able to ascertain that you are lunging forward and skitters out of the way of your rapier. You don't quite plunge the tip into the ground, but it's close, and you pull back, forming back into stance as the claw directs its attention towards you.
I'm going to bonus action disengage. And then I'm going to actually open the door behind me. And
The scraping sounds are still issuing from the door as you pull it open. And That one doesn't open right. And you see a pack of 5 more.
Yeah.
You also expect to see
Or nimble.
the Nimblewright.
That's what I was hoping to see.
Is
Fuck.
not there.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Got stolen in the night.
That's nimble wrong.
Alright, well, I'm going to-
Yes.
we're gonna get up on this rock over here.
A group of 5 more hands present themselves in the light of your flickering torch as it spills out from the room. What was that?
I'm gonna, as I try to, as I disengage through, I'm gonna jump off the door frame and kind of lunge myself off over them, and then run up on top of this rock and turn around, kind of ready for these hands.
These hands.
Neatly pivoting
get
off
ready
of
for
the
these
frame,
hands.
These hands.
you jump over and then make your way to the rock. Is that all for your turn?
That'll be my turn.
Okay.
Yeah,
The claws are beginning to turn, Brittany, as you are presented with this strange scene. What do you do on your turn?
First of all, I screech. And I'm like, that's just disgusting. And then I stab the one by Mirio with my dagger, or I try to at least.
Roll to hit.
Oh, they did this second edition.
15.
Roll damage. A 15 will hit.
Yay.
Nice.
Uh, 6 damage.
6 damage. You plunge the dagger down in a hammer position with the blade down and skewer it across the tendons, severing them and rendering the hand immobile.
Okay, and then I'm gonna turn
dead.
to. Huh?
It's dead.
Sweet. I'm gonna turn to. Who have I. Who's not gone? Sorry.
Mostly
Who have
everybody
I-
except for
I'm the only one who
Aiden.
has, yep.
You're the only buddy who has taken a turn?
On our team, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I'm gonna turn to Mirio, and I'm gonna say, anything I can do, you can do better. You can do anything better than me. Take it away, Mirio. And then I'm gonna inspire him.
I love it. That is awesome.
dude.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay, and that's my turn.
Presenting a counter melody to the malodorous surroundings you find yourself in, you encourage Mirio, and we move on in the initiative order. 2 of the claws that are outside pounce on Aiden. I'm gonna need your ace real quick.
Yeah.
Does, I don't suppose, an 8 hits?
No.
Right, neither of them hit.
Good.
They flop against your armor and collapse back onto the ground, scrabbling at your boots. Then we're on to Sadrin, with Victor on deck.
Okay. I am going to. There's not one by me that I can touch, is there?
There is.
I want to come out the doors. Maybe. Will it let me? Yeah. Come out here and touch this guy. The one closest to me.
This
and
guy?
inflict wounds, yes.
Inflict.
Oh, dang, dude.
I like the power word kill that one little.
Just fucking, I'm not a dead there. On the fucking hand.
You see that rat? I want it to not exist.
Oh shit!
I
Oh,
cast
wow.
Meteor Storm on the rat on the other side of town.
That's a 15 to hit.
Yeah.
So
That hits.
Okay, cool.
Roll
so
your
2d10.
50 billion damage.
Heinous.
Where are my d10s? There's one.
Bippity boppity boom.
And there's one.
Bippity boppity gat.
Oh. 29 points of damage.
Oh my
Jeez,
god,
man.
Linn.
Isn't that one shy of maximum?
Yes.
I was saying.
Oh, 2 10s and a 9.
Jeez, man.
Ma'am.
How many times would you say your character has cast this spell?
I don't think she's cast it yet, actually.
You are accustomed to tales, then, of inflict wounds causing massive bruising on an instantaneous, divinely inspired timetable. You are used to hearing stories of how one instance of inflict wounds cast a whole person in scars, deep gashes that bled profusely. You are used to hearing of people bleeding out from this spell, but you've never heard of something completely drying up and turning into dust before your eyes. But
Ooh.
this small hand, which you basically just like slap into the ground, you pull your own hand up, and it falls to a consistency as fine as the ash in the hearth, which now glows dimly behind you. Dead.
Yes, let's go.
I bet.
And that's it for me.
All right, we're moving on to Victor. Follow that up.
Right. So, as he sees this happen, he goes, "Ow! Oh my lord! Srahd, if you wouldn't mind leaving one of these little fellows alive, I would really like to study it as Aiden killed the one we found upstairs. What?" And he looks around and he sees the one by Obi that's over by the wall. He goes, "Oh, hello! Welcome to my basement. I'm Victor," and he grabs it like a handshake. He goes, "Well, God damn it, how the hell are ya?" And he shakes
You
it. And,
grab it like a handshake?
yeah, and then I
Oh,
cast.
Make a strength save.
Wait. I cast shocking
Actually-
grasp.
Oh, okay.
I just.
Okay,
God damn it,
yeah,
how the
roll
hell
the
are
hit.
ya?
Roll the hit.
That's
That's a good bit.
It's the freaking Joker bit. It's the buzzer in the hand thing.
That's exactly what it is. Also, I'm just thinking, have you guys seen that meme of like, it's like when you meet like a white guy in public and it's the dog and like the guy hands out the shake and the dog's like,
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
that's gonna be a 21 to hit.
Roll damage.
Five damage.
You go to handshake this thing, and you know you have to be quick. You scoop your hand low, just as it appears that it is splaying its fingers up to jump and gouge your eyes out, and you grip it in a handshake. And as you're saying, "How the hell are you?" you cast Shocking Grasp, the lightning radiating out of your metal fingers, and you watch as it convulses with blue light illuminating the center of the hand and exposing the layers of it. It's dead. The time that you let go, it's actually locked in a form of rigor mortis because you shocked it to death.
You
can add one
another hand.
really gross handshake to your inventory, and
I'm
I
about
want
to
you
be
to add it
Grody
with that
hand.
name.
Really gross hand.
Grody.
Gross handshake.
As my turn ends, you see Victor going like wheeling his hand, trying to get it off, flailing around the room.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. With that being the end of your turn, the other crawling claws are also going to skitter over to Aiden and try to pounce. One of them is going to try to grapple, so I need a contested athletics acrobatics check. You win. It doesn't matter. Unless, maybe not. Actually, roll it anyways.
Could be a roll off.
It could be.
Roll
Job,
is
right here.
Aiden?
Oh, I'm rolling something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Athletics acrobatics.
Oh, I'm rolling
Contested.
athletic acrobatics. Sorry, I'm not used to Aiden yet. Athletics or acrobatics? Definitely acrobatics. That's a 21.
All right. This claw also bounces off of your leather armor. And the other one is going to attempt to strike. And it misses, because I know your AC isn't that low. We're on to Sudril with Mirio on deck. Sudril. You are muted.
Muted.
Sorry, I thought you said I was on deck. I'm gonna move up and kind of push out the door at the ones that I saw skitter around the corner. And as I turn and see them kind of approaching the now trapped fellow on the rock, I'm going to pull a small little kind of bottle of kind of yellowish orangish acid from my sort of pouch, and I'm going to sort of huck over at the two right here on the front side of Aiden, and I'm gonna splash them with some acid. They had to make a dex save.
I'm gonna roll a physical die this time because, jeez, bad rolls.
Yep.
What's the save? What's the DC?
DC 13 dex save.
So they both make it.
Okay,
Is that
so
half damage on a success?
I don't believe they take any damage. Let me clarify. No, they just don't take any damage. So the acid will sort of shatter and I guess kind of miss.
The acid lands just in front or around them, but they are able to kind of pirouette around the acid pile, and as it sinks into the ground, begins to let off a sort of steam. The crawling claws resume their own business.
That is all I'm gonna do. That's all I can do.
Then we are on to Mirio.
The only one. There's only one outside, right? Oh, there's all those outside.
Nope.
There's no more left in here.
Correct.
Mirio's gonna move through his friends if he can. Can he? Can I go through?
I'm going to allow it because I thought about it earlier when Zach said he was going to, and I said, yeah, whatever.
Okay.
If a door is blocked in the future, the door is blocked.
Okay, I didn't know if pushing past somebody, like
If
through the
you're
door space, would be.
Moving through allied units.
Yeah.
Some people
This
roll it as free.
this one.
Oh.
This one right here.
Yes.
I'm gonna make an unarmed attack at it.
Right. Roll the hit.
The right hand is just gonna haymaker the little fucker. 18 to hit.
18 will hit. What's your mod for unarmed
Plus
strike?
5.
All right.
That's my fighting
for-
style I took as a fighter.
For fun, roll damage.
That's gonna be 6 bludgeoning damage.
You punch down on this thing. I assume you're punching.
Yes, I'm.
And then maybe you're kicking.
Yeah, I mean, I'll punt it. Hell yeah, I'll punt it. Yeah, I'll just.
You bring your boot up into the bones of this hand. It doesn't have like a cartoon handshake at the end. It's just got the I think it's the, I don't remember what they're called, but the smaller bones of the center hand. You kick into those, and you see it go flying past Aiden's shoulder, and two of those small hand bones actually fly out. It flops against the ground several feet behind Aiden, and you assume, though you cannot see it, that it is dead.
Okay, I'm gonna action surge and make another attack at this other guy for a 21 to hit.
Yeah,
Gonna
roll
be 9
damage.
points of damage.
All right, what are you doing to it?
I'm gonna legs still up in the air after punting one is just gonna kind of pivot and stomp on this other hand.
Oh man, you, Aiden, hear the crack of old bones as Muriel brings his boot down on this old hand. The innards of it squirt out the backside of the hand
Yeah.
and coat the ground behind your stomped foot in an unpleasant shade of black and sort of warm tan, the color of old muscle which has been left to ferment in its own juices. It's dead.
Literally me in Detroit 5 years ago.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
That's my turn.
And
Actually, I'll
with-
use my 5 more feet of movement to just go.
Action surge again and just.
Use my movement to action surge. Then move. just completely disregarding the rules. I would like to use my second wind to action surge.
Bonus action to action surge and my second wind to action surge on top of my movement for action
Has ever
surge.
had a player like that?
Yes.
I have had that.
Yeah, it's awful. It's
Yeah.
terrible. Okay. You stomp over and glower over the remaining crawling claws as we move on in initiative order. Thanks to the actions of your aggressively punching and kicking friend, Aiden, you're up with Brittany on deck.
Oh, I'm gonna whip around and stab the one on my left. Whoa, I don't want to move. I'm standing on them. There we go.
So that's what happens when two people try to do something.
Alright, and I'm gonna do rapier. Maybe I'll hit this time. Does a 12 hit?
Roll damage.
Oh, thank goodness. That's an 8 points of piercing damage.
8 points of piercing damage. You skewer this thing from the tip of its finger, piercing through at about halfway through the finger, and compress it inward on itself by piercing it through the flesh of the palm. It remains on your rapier unless you flick it off. And it's dead.
Okay. I'll kind of flick my blade off to the side, flicking it
The
off.
useless hand flops across the ground and then comes to a rest in the dying grass.
And as I kind of one motion kind of flick it off, I'm going to come down, go towards the knee, and as I do, draw a dagger in my offhand and stab down at the remaining hand.
I love the energy, and I think I know what you're saying, but you did turn away from your mic. So you
sorry.
draw your dagger
Yes.
with the rotation and plunge down with it.
Yep, exactly.
All right, roll to hit.
Ooh, that's gonna probably hit. That's a 23 to hit.
Roll damage.
No modifier, so it's just a little. That's 4 points of damage.
All right. Plunging your dagger down, you catch this thing, and it attempts to run away for a moment, but the way you catch it, you slice down with your dagger, hitting it between the two middle fingers here, or rather the middle finger and the ring finger, and you drive a deep gouge all the way to where the tendons meet at the top, or where the wrist would normally be. It wriggles around for a moment, and then after a moment more, it stops, slumping onto the ground, dead again. And with that, you are out of combat, and most decidedly, awake. You pant in the thick, misted air. Chill it is, as if fall was upon this place. And you're left to recover and to figure out what just happened and what you're going to do next.
You're
So
still flopping around the room.
just for clarification, they're all what, 6 undead? Just are they left hands or right hands? Or are they a
They are
combination?
both. And you see that one is of a different species than humanoid, but the rest are humanoid. 5 humanoid and 1 of a different species.
Wait a minute. That math doesn't add up. Must be a half elf. Only half the hands are humanoid. The other one's an elf hand. Elves. Degenerate elves are human.
So as Victor finally shakes the hand off, he goes, ugh, and he takes out some of his kit and wipes the grime that I would assume be stuck to his hand.
So you can't shake it off. You have to pull it off.
Okay.
Because it's still tensing from the electrocution. And as you go to grip it, you have to dig your fingers in and pull the palm back from your handshake hand.
Oh, God. Thank God I have a glove. Oh. Oh, God. God! He kind of examines it for a second.
It curls in on itself like a dead spider.
I would assume he hasn't seen much of a difference between this and the first one he found.
It's a right hand. The other was left.
He checks to see if Brittany's looking, and he stuffs it in his back pocket.
I guess Brittany wasn't looking. You stuff it into your back pocket with no problem.
And he gets his goggles off of his neck, puts them on his face, and you hear the and he doesn't put his face into the hole, but he kind of like peeks into it and sees if there's anything else in there.
Victor peers into the hole. With night vision goggles, I assume?
Yes, sir.
Or dark vision, I should say. And sees the familiar shape of a skeleton lying in the hollow underneath the stone stairs. You also see the glittering of something else. A last possession, perhaps. Something brought into this place and then left to rot with the person who was carrying it.
He takes one more sweep to make sure that he doesn't see any more hands. And goes,
You look around.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you look around and the only 2 that you see are still attached to the skeleton, in a sense.
Okay. Guys, I'm going in the hole. And he goes inside to see what that shiny thing is.
Okay, it is not large enough for you to go inside yet. You could
Okay.
knock it larger if you wanted to, or work to.
I would do that.
Okay. It'll take some time. If you had a big hammer, it would take less time. quite a lot less.
I have a regular size hammer.
He leans back. Mirio, would you mind coming to help me open up this hole really fast? I see something in there I'm going to take a look at. And also, there was a lot of these things in there, and I wanted to get down to the bottom of how these things work. So I would assume that the answer to my query is somewhere in this dank hole in the wall. Mirio?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, did you hear me?
I did not hear you. Sorry.
Basically, Victor asked you to smash open the wall.
He'll nod in silent agreement and take up his maul. And take a big old baseball bat swing at it. Sledgehammer.
Mirio knocks a sizable hole into the wall, and then you see, as the dust clears, that a piece of the stone has firmly been lodged into the now shattered skull of whoever was preserved here.
Whoopsie.
You
He's
see
anyway.
now that whoever was here was not actually a skeleton, so much as they were exsanguinated, drained.
Don't say that word.
Drained of all fluids, preserved therein as a flesh-draped skeleton.
Hey, yo.
As he kind of hangs in, did you say it was open enough to get in yet? I'm sorry.
Now it is.
Okay, so as he kind of starts to swing himself in, he looks and he says, "Oh, well, that is absolutely abhorrent." As he goes in, he goes, "Well, it's not a skeleton. I thought it was, but it seems like more of something that's gone through the mummification process." You see him kind of adjust his glasses a little bit and, do better focus in and out to see if he can see anything different. Just quick glance. I do not like the look of this, but in the name of discovery, and he just kind of reaches over to the item that's in there.
It is clutched within the figure's hand, which is lying on the ground. The rigor mortis has long since lost its power, and as you tug at the artifact, it comes loose after a solid effort. You pull it free, and it jingles. You look and you see it is a single charm on a ring with a key. The key is now rusted, pitted, but the charm is just tarnished. You see its surface is no longer it is not at all scraped or scratched. It is pure in a sense, and it is in the shape of a raven's feather.
He squints and takes a deeper look and holds it closer to his face. I would like to do an Arcana check, please.
Yes. Attempting to scrutinize the importance of this artifact, you delve deep into your trove of mental knowledge, and on a...
Was 23.
On a 23, you just know your modifier off the top of your head, dude.
I just looked out.
Oh, cool. Sure. That's what you did when you looked up into the sky, huh? On a 23, raven feathers have often been heralds of many things throughout history, so it's tough to get a full bead on what this could entail. Whatever it means, it signifies an importance, the importance of death. the acceptance of it, perhaps, and it harkens back to something that you've seen recently. The raven at the gates of Barovia. Come to think of it, you haven't seen any other kinds of birds here. No sparrows or finches flit through the forest, nor here do they call out an evening song. You hear the caws of a raven in the distance as the evening takes its hold.
He looks at the charm. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Before I come back out, I'd like to look around this, like, I don't know what, cave?
It is a very small alcove. The model that I've got here for you does not quite describe it all the way, but you can think of it kind of as like a small, maybe a tall sarcophagus. Roll perception, and then you'll come out, and party will be free to move and speak as they will.
16.
On a 16, you observe the belongings in this place, and you do not find much but an urn.
I'll pick that up too and take it out with me.
The urn has an old script roughly etched around its circumference. It's crudely etched, and almost in that same sloping cursive, but messily drawn on the urn. You bring it out into the torchlight of your abandoned house room, the cellar there, and observe it. Perhaps you open it. It has a lid on top.
As urns do.
Come again?
As urns do.
Yes.
I would love to open it.
With a hollow ceramic sound, you rasp the lid until it's turned to open and then pull the top off. And a small cloud of dust comes out of the urn. You look inside to see the cottage cheese texture of ashes.
He contemplates for a moment. And before he reaches in, he looks at Sager and goes, "If something happens to me, burn all of my scientific notes. I'll be damned if anybody takes discoveries from me." And he reaches his mechanical arm in to feel
You
through
die.
the
No.
Yes, I get all this stuff.
You have just reached your fingers into ashes. And you find nothing.
He takes his hand out and gives it a shake and and he goes, "Sorry, whoever you were. I'm sure you probably didn't want me to do that. Anyways, I found this urn, and like I said, there's a mummified body back there, which I can only think of as gone without blood, which would do the process organically, but that means that something took the blood out of it, and I doubt it was those little hands, and my mind goes to vampires, but I'm not exactly a learned man in the ways of the world. I don't know. I also found this very, very spooky keychain and key." He holds it up for everybody to see. And as he holds it up, he goes, "But that got me thinking. I've only seen ravens when we're here, and everybody knows that any good ecosystem has multiple types of birds. You have songbirds, you have ground birds, you have birds of prey, you have things like pheasants, turkeys. I've only seen the corvid variety, and I don't understand, but it feels murderous."
Murder.
And he gives a little crack smile.
It takes everything inside of me not to fire the crossbow across the room at him. Not today. Not today.
I would like to mention that I would probably not. Following the battle.
Come again?
I would like to mention following the battle, I probably wouldn't have gone back in right away. I would have looked for like drag marks or signs of a scuffle, or tracks of our metallic friend, and where he might have been whisked away to.
You may roll survival for that. Sorry.
Survival.
Ooh.
Oh man, I am rolling like shite tonight. Oh, and it's a 7.
On a 7, you see the tread of the clockwork automaton moving off north. And then the tracks disappear, obscured in the muddy boot prints which pockmark the open trails through this village.
Does it look
around
like
the
it just
well.
walked away?
You could say that from what you see.
Okay. I would have come back and gone to Sudriel. Where did our automaton go?
He should have been posted up at least nearby. I'll have try and reach to it like psionically, and try and see if I can discern if it can like come back inside, or try and give it instructions to come back to the house, from wherever it may be.
You reach for the device you were given, and grasping the sigils inscribed upon its handle, you attempt to relay your commands to it, and to get some feedback from it to understand where it might be at this very moment. Nothing returns. I don't know how many times you might try, but nothing
I would
returns.
try a handful of times, giving kind of like a pause in between just to let like time pass. But after about 10 minutes or so, it would start to dawn on me that this thing is not coming back.
It went north. Do you have a range? Is this something, if we hurry, we may be able to get in range and get it to come back?
Well, we may be able to track it, but I'm not sure about the range of this thing. It's quite complex machinery, and I haven't studied it as much as I'd wish, but I'm sure that if we followed it and got closer, it wouldn't do, much harm to that extent. We should try and find it and hope it's not broken beyond repair.
That's a good idea.
As this conversation goes on, you see Victor is trying to like hold in a panic attack.
Roll a wisdom save.
Joke's on you, I'm bad at those.
7.
On a 7, Victor begins to think about the implications of that wonderful device going missing. Where could it have gone? Who took it? And will they use it against us? Round and round in circles of uncertainty, you spiral down into your thoughts. You develop a bit of fear regarding the Nibelrite. And you begin to watch for its silhouette, eyes darting back and forth as you try to see where it might have gone to, even in this square. Perhaps it's on the roofs, Perhaps it's upstairs? You listen, you can't tell. You go in circles this way. All while a small sheen of sweat begins to build up underneath your gloves, your hands growing clammy, your breath growing short.
And now.
From here on out, I will need you to make another wisdom save the next time you see the Nimblewright.
Doki.
I would add that in your notes. Now, evening is beginning to fall upon this village as it hasn't before. You haven't seen a place like this, except perhaps on a very dark, cold winter night. It seems to be fallish sorts of weather here, but the chill in the air, the darkness of the clouds, which haven't let up, something about it is oppressive. You are fully rested, all of you. You could not go to sleep now, even if you wanted to. And so, being awake still, what do you do with your time as the evening begins to fall in earnest?
We should go look for the big, beautiful creature.
Well, it's getting late. We might have to continue our relaxation for a bit longer. I don't think, especially if you made it outside the town, I don't think leaving town's borders is a good idea.
Well, let's see if he's still in town. Again, I'm not sure about the range of this, but if he is within the borders of town, it's some reliability and some safety. But I wouldn't venture much further beyond.
Yes, let's go. And he rushes out the door a little bit.
Right. Well, he went north, so let's start that direction.
I'll follow.
Yeah, same.
All right. Let me just pull everybody out from in here. If I can. Where do you go? North?
North, following the tracks as far as I could, and I guess just kind of continuing that way.
You begin to move north, up the square. Torches still lit and flickering. The way the light casts over this place in the evening with your torches is strange. Things seem taller than they are normally. And the light from the window panes reflected back at you seems like eyes following you as you go. You move north towards the square and see that it is very sparsely lit. The painter is no longer there, but he has left some of his belongings, perhaps sure that nobody would have use for such a thing in this place. Two lights attract your eyes, one underneath a broken monument, and another towards a red-roofed building. You see a barrel inscribed on a sign hanging over the door. You assume this is the local tavern. If you'd like to make another check to see where the thing might have gone to, you may make a DC 20 survival check.
Does anyone else want to do that, or just me?
Me look
What kind of check? Sorry.
rival.
DC 20 survival.
Because the only way I'm passing is
The-
with a nat 20.
The ground of the square is mulched. Bootfalls and muddy dirt have made for an untrackable surface.
I will gladly help and point to the tracks that I found earlier. So we have like a
I would definitely
Step
allow
off.
that as the help action.
as a step off.
Well,
Anybody have a good survival?
I have a +1.
I have a +1 too.
Addie, what's your survival?
Would you like me to roll?
Is it better
Um,
than a +1?
yeah.
Then yes.
Slightly?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Please.
Better than a +1 is
Only
better than
slightly
most.
better.
At advantage, I'm helping
Acceptable.
Is it at advantage, you said?
Yes, because you are shown the shape of the boot prints you are attempting
17.
to track.
You. Aw.
That was
Close.
17.
That was at advantage.
Yes, that was an advantage.
Dang.
Aiden shows you your quarry's boot prints before you launch into the square. And as you get there, you are disappointed to realize that the square itself is covered in these boot prints from people who have been walking through the mud all day. It would be finding a needle in a haystack to properly find the tread of who you are seeking now. You lose the trail there in the square.
Well,
Ah. Fuck.
we, I guess, go to the edge of town, or we... I don't know.
Well, come on. Let's go ask these people at the tavern, but they're bound to have seen a giant bronze man. And he walks off in a huff.
Well, it's definitely not the worst idea he's had as of late. And I'll follow him up.
Yeah.
You'll decide to walk towards the tavern, and traversing the muddied square, you make your way there, toward the entrance to the tavern. The double doors and the lanterns lit and the braziers lit there are a warm comfort, and their light seems to inspire some sense of coziness, even as in this dreadful land you feel that no such thing could exist. But looking at the nicely latticed windows and the relatively well upkept facility, you open the doors and cram the party inside. You are greeted with a welcome sight, and as you walk through the door, pardon me, I have to check something very quickly.
Yes, you all fail the survival on the booby trap, and max level fireball goes off right at your ankles.
And everyone's
No, that's
dead
not-
and
that's
new
not what happened.
characters.
He said,
Yeah,
crap.
no, the tavern is actually a mimic.
Oh,
Oh,
Son of a bitch!
that's what I mean.
A
by the
single
beast of the belly.
Point of glowing warm light emanates from this place as you walk towards it, and thrusts light upon the facade of this building. Above the gaping doorway of the tavern, a sign hangs precariously askew, proclaiming this to be the Blood on the Vine Tavern. You walk in, and as the warm air and the smell of wine wafts over you, you feel safe, in a sense. Warm red furnishings are speckled throughout this room, and the floors are dark and polished, either from years of walking around and years of care, or perhaps from simply a finish. It's hard to tell. Candelabras line the bar, and a man stands behind it, idly cleaning a mug. 3 women sit in the very corner. You walk in. You see others turn towards you, and a general sense of silence falls over the tavern. You look to the barkeep.
I'm sorry.
Nope. What
Please
were
continue.
you going to say?
I was gonna ask if we saw those dirty little guys that tried to steal the coin purse and such.
You don't see that guy or his accomplice, but you do see people who seem to be dressed the same, whereas the locals, and you can tell they're locals, of this establishment dress in very drab and old and moth-eaten clothes. The individuals sitting in the very corner, the 3 ladies, they are dressed in long, flowing skirts. Their hair is kept back with bright bandanas overlaid with appealing patterns. The rest of their dress is very flowing and modeled as if it was taken from the markets of 5 different villages. And you can tell at once by the outward displays of wealth jingling around their necks and sitting as bangles upon their wrists that these are nomadic people, just like the individuals you spoke to earlier, and just like those 2 that you saw at the tavern in Daggerford. And it is as this flash of recognition colors your memory that we are going to take a small break. So, bathroom, food, brain break, whatever you need. We'll come back at 9:10. So
Sounds
be
good.
ready at 9:10.
Sounds good.
Cool.
And if you have any questions to talk about sideways to me during the break, we can. Otherwise, I'm going to take a break.
Yeah, why is my pee blue?
Have you been drinking Smurfs?
Ah, shit. That might be doing it.
Not drinking. Well,
They're blended up.
You can
and that's
drink
my
anything with the right
protein
blender.
shake
All
for
right,
the
good luck.
morning. Yeah.
Is Matt having issues?
I don't know.
That's the second time he's done that.
Yeah, I think he's disconnected and come back. I don't know. I think he's trying audio or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Brad, what you
If he-
eating?
Nachos.
My cheese,
Oh, jeez.
my
Which one?
cave-aged cheddar.
You.
Well, I finished my habanero one, so
Hey, yo. He's muted. In game.
I found a bag of jelly beans,
Nice.
oh,
and so I'm eating those.
I love
Jeez.
jelly beans.
Sorry, my Discord warped
Freaked out.
Yeah.
Worked out.
All right. Now we're back from the break, and I have a question.
Yeah.
How much longer do we want to go?
I can only go till about 10. I have to be up at 4 a.m. for a flight.
Jesus.
Sorry, leave at 4 a.m. for a flight.
Packed.
Kind of.
10 sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Done?
So-
that sounds good.
45 minutes, yep.
Okay. All right. Back to where we were. The tavern building itself is about 60 feet square. You saw its dimensions from the outside, but now, walking in, you realize that nobody's here because Matthew forgot to put all the humans in.
And the map suddenly populates right before your eyes.
What are you snacking on, Matt?
Can you hear that?
No.
No, I just see it in your hand. That's what I'm asking.
Okay. Whew. I am snacking on a knockoff drumstick.
Ooh. Yum.
Ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's populating right before our eyes.
hey, really quick. What brand of root beer does everybody die with?
Is everybody what?
I just get this
Sprite.
feeling that everybody has a very specific brand of root beer that they prefer.
Root beer.
Yeah,
Oh. To be
Uber.
totally honest, I don't really like root beer. But the root beer that I am kind of a snob for is the glass bottles of Boylan's birch beer.
Let's get everybody's preferred root beer after the session because we can only go till 10 and it's 9:15.
How dare you speak facts and logic to me?
I'm sorry,
We're
but
just buying you time to populate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that is kind.
You're welcome.
But we could be here a long time, and I figure I have to interrupt at some point, so I might as well do now. You enter the tavern. Oh. Here we are. Okay. And you see a small man, a disheveled man, squeaking a rag through a mug. He cleans it, sets it upside down, and picks up another one just next to it. A hush falls over the tavern as you all walk in, and then, after a moment, you hear lightly whispered on the crowd, "Adventurers." And then the sound dies out and is replaced by a small, drawling din. Nothing happy, per se. Just people talking. You've entered the tavern. What do you do?
I would approach the barkeep.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Come again?
I would approach the barkeep and, excuse me, sir. A drink and if you have some food, I would appreciate that as well.
You query the barkeep, and as you're finishing, he puts down a mug and picks up another. Sorry. You see that though he is small, he is a little pudgy, and mindlessly he looks up to you and says, "If you'd like something to drink, we can serve glasses of wine for 1 copper piece. If you want the whole pitcher, it will be 1 silver. We do not sell food here."
Oh. Then I will take just a glass then. Thank you.
He sets the mug down after a moment more of cleaning it and picks up the next mug and places it face up in front of you. He then goes back to the back counter and comes back with a pitcher, which he quickly fills your mug with. The red liquid that spills out smells quite lovely, actually. It for wine, it's very nice. And noting the situation you found yourself in, the setting that you are now entangled in, this glass of wine seems to be as welcome a reprieve as any you might find elsewhere.
Thank you.
Will the rest of your friends be ordering drinks?
Yeah, we'll take a picture.
Yeah.
No need to shout. No need. A pitcher for all of you will be 1 silver piece.
Here you go.
You hand over the silver and he looks at it for a moment and says, He takes the silver and says, as he walks back, "I'll have that ready for you in a moment." His voice is gratingly hollow and dull to boot, monotone, as if he's disinterested. The worst qualities you could possibly find in a barkeep. And yet, he dutifully gets you a pitcher and returns to the bar, saying, "Please do not spill this. I do not wish to clean up after another group of mess makers."
Another group.
Okay.
Was there a group before us that made a mess?
Your kind always seems to come to town sometime or another. Do you wish to have mugs, goblets for all of you? Or do you wish to drink straight from the pitcher?
If you have enough mugs for all of us, that'd be great.
Yes, I have enough mugs. And he goes to scoop up the mugs he's been cleaning. Are you going to sit here or at one of the tables? You look around. Very few of the tables are occupied.
We'll take a table.
Go sit down and I will come by. Many of the tables here are made for up to 4 people. And though I have not fully populated everywhere, most of those tables are filled by just maybe 2, if not just 1. They look like they can be slid together to make a larger table, enough to fit all 6 of you.
Well, I'm really kind of hungry, more so than I am thirsty.
Uh-huh.
So, does anyone fancy trying to get some information about our nimble right friend? And
Sorry, say that again?
is anyone? I'm just kind of talking to the group. Is anyone interested in trying to find some information on our nimble right friend? And then I'm more hungry than I am thirsty at the moment, and they don't seem to serve food here, so I don't particularly feel, the need for staying longer. Well, we don't seem very welcomed anyway.
I'm cool with that. Yeah.
Of course.
So, what do you decide to do then? You go look, or do you just enjoy the wine for a moment and then go off?
Victor will, out of character at this point, just gulp down a thing of wine.
And I'll just and start drinking mine.
I don't want to say shotguns it, but he chugs it down, slams it on the table. He's tapping his head, and he says, Sudriel, you mentioned something about seeing those ruffians from Daggerford?
Yes. We were wandering about yesterday, and we happened to stumble into the men that sort of interposed when we first met Brittany.
Yes. I see over there, and I point to the corner, are people that look remarkably similar in garb. Do you think they're the same group? And do you think that they are the ones that have stolen the Nimblewright? Because I'm going to be honest, I think that's what I'm thinking.
Would I be able to see who he's pointing out?
Yes. Across the way, there are a group of people that are dressed very similarly to the individuals that you spoke to yesterday.
Okay. Well, that's definitely them. I'm not sure if their motive was to steal the Nimblewright, though. They seem to back away whenever we first interposed ourselves into the, thievery, but I'm not sure they would be so bold enough as to try and steal something such as the Nimblewright.
Maybe. Can't think of anything else going on here that would see any value in it. These townspeople certainly wouldn't.
Well, if you are so curious about it, why don't you go ask them?
Well, two things. One, terrible with people. Two, I'm just a small little guy, okay?
Well,
I failed to see how those matter.
Take Mirio and Brittany, I guess. I mean, they seem to be a little more well-spoken and well-liked than someone of your status.
He agrees. And he looks at Brittany and Mirio.
Brittany, Mirio.
Mio
two
just
are-
gives a nod.
Yes.
Addie.
I'm sorry, I was not paying attention to that last part.
You're really quiet. I'm sorry.
You gonna come again?
I'm sorry, what was the question for me?
If you and Mirio would like to accompany me to see if these ruffians know anything.
Yeah, I mean, Brittany is happy to go along with any group for sure, and she'll just chatter away if she's invited. Like, if you invite me, I'll be like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
but I won't,
that's-
like, willingly kind of just, like, add myself in.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Asking.
So if I'm asked, then, well, sure. I love a little adventure here and there.
Okay, good. I think we're going to need your charms for these folks.
I am very charming, aren't I?
Victor blushes.
Victor blushes.
Taylor just called me a Riz Master for that one.
You're a Rizzard.
The three of you are completely free to manipulate your little NPC tokens or your PC tokens to go speak to the individuals in the corner. I'm gonna light it up a little more in here.
Cozy.
There we
Ew.
All right, you're completely free to take your characters over there as you please. You walk over, and as you do, you see that these three women are enjoying speaking amongst themselves and playing a small card game. Their table has food and drink, and they're a couple goblets in, it might seem. They don't pay you much mind.
I'm gonna look at Victor and saying, are you wanting me to initiate here?
What'd you say?
Are you wanting me to initiate here?
Yes, please. I'm simply here to collect information and
Ladies, let's talk. What's going on?
A
I'm just
critical
gonna walk right up.
A critical eye is thrown in your direction by one who seems to be studying her hand very intensely. But her expression brightens as she sees yours, and she says, "Ah, hello. We're playing cards right now. And, you don't look like you're from around here. You are your strange, small servant."
he squints, but just lets it go.
You're so funny. No, we're not. That's why I'm coming to see if you guys got the latest on the town and what's going on here. I love to be in the know, and I'm currently not, so that's a problem.
Another one of them pipes up and says, "The latest in the know about the village of Barovia. Where, how to say, I saw a black cat yesterday. There was somebody who got their portrait painted by that Figrin fellow. And yeah, that's it. Nothing seems to happen around these parts. Although, have you heard that sobbing recently? It's been going on for weeks, if you could believe that. You'd think that somebody who could cry that long would have run out of tears some time ago. How's that for gossip, eh?
And you're hearing the sobbing in town? You just don't know who it is?
Nope. Don't care either.
How does nobody know? And it's been going on for weeks. How
Nobody knows, because nobody cares.
Well, I don't know if it's just the matter of caring or lack of perception, but good to know.
You say you all You seem to be fortune finders, eh? You seem to be interested in finding different, interesting things. More interesting than this town, I'll say.
I find stories and entertainment more valuable than some other things, but I guess some of my party might not agree with that. Though I'm just here for funsies.
You want to have a good time? I'll tell you what. There's a little place along the old river. Have you seen it?
I'm gonna like kind of turn and be like, have we seen it, my servant?
He kind of rubs his forehead a little bit and goes, no, we have not been to my knowledge near any river or body of water since before we arrived here.
You
Mac.
may make a history check if you so desire. All of you.
Okay.
That's a nat 1.
That's exactly what you think. What you just said is what you say because that's what you think.
Amazing.
You said OB, me and OB also.
Yes.
What was the roll?
History.
History. Natural 20.
Nice, OB.
The duality of man.
Yo, let's go.
Yeah, it's good
Duality of
because I only
man.
got like a 4, so.
Amazing.
Brittany does not remember much because that's how sleep deprivation affects the memory,
Oh, 21 for me.
especially when you're used to your beauty rest. But to Mirio, you remember as crystal clear as the water that you saw flowing that there is indeed a river along the plains leading to the village. You saw it briefly as you exited the woods, and then it disappeared, weaving away from the path that you took to get to the misted village.
Well, Mirio says we did see it briefly, but I was paying more attention to the beautiful scenery, to be honest, so I don't think we know too much about it. We didn't really stop and look. Is there something we should know about this place?
Oh, how long have you been here? The third one speaks up then. She smirks. Go on, how long have you been here?
How long have we been here?
Yes, this is the first time that we have seen you, that's for sure.
Do you really need me to spell it out for you? Did you not pick up the context clues when I said we were new around here and wanted to find out what was going on?
Not
long enough.
here, not
Under
really.
his breath, Victor leans over to Miri and goes, "Oh no, she's going Britney, bitch."
Not here, you dummy. Barovia, the place, not the village. How long
The
have you been
answer's
here?
still about the same. Not long. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking to you.
What, a day? 2?
If I can interrupt, we've only been here for, yes, a day at most.
Ah. Well, it explains it. We, how to say, we are not bound to this place. We know what the outside looks like, you know. We've been there. It is nothing like this place. It is beautiful. And here? Here is a way to make a living.
I don't suppose you, lovely ladies, have heard anything about a large metal man in town.
Oh, you're the ones with that thing.
Oh no, not me.
Oh, no?
No, not me.
Who else?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
Roll deception.
Do I have to roll deception? All things considered.
Since you do know, yes.
Okay. That would be a. It's not very. My modifier's not great, but.
And particularly because your character is very interested in the nimble right.
So I rolled a 12, but that's an 11.
Oh,
Oh no.
the conversation goes on without missing a beat. We haven't heard anything. I'm sorry. But that does sound like a very interesting story. Maybe one for you to tell to us, eh? She looks to you, Brittany. The third one. They're all adorned relatively the same with different lengths of hair and different assorted patterns. The third one introduces herself. She says, by the way, my name is Sordia. You are welcome in our tavern whenever you wish to come. And please, have another drink on us. After all, you'll probably be here for a while. I don't suppose you have lodging, since you're new in town.
Well, I'll see if the rest of my group cares to stay longer, but I don't know. I kind of go where the wind takes me. I'm gonna kind of and walk away.
Before you go, if the wind takes you along the river, you should really visit Madame Ava. She'll read your fortune, you know. And in a place like this, you'll need that in hand.
That does sound quite fun, I won't lie, so I may or may not do that. Thank you.
They go back to their card game, and you three are given a reprieve.
As we
Kind
walk.
ladies.
Was that Obi? I'm sorry.
Very kind ladies.
I kind of shrug and I look at Brittany and I say, they kind of gave off a weird vibe, right? Like I think they were lying. Do you think they were lying?
I do not think so.
When you say, Miriam, what did you say to them exactly?
I just said thank you.
The first one to speak says, "You're welcome to join us for cards if you'd like."
Oh, ha. I'm no good at cards. Thank you.
Yeah. Suit yourself. Enjoy the wine.
Do you happen to know? Sorry, one question. Do you happen to know where we can get some food in town? Good eats.
She sizes you up for a moment. Says, "I'll tell you what. You tell me something about you and your party, and I'll make sure all of you get something to eat tonight. I don't think anywhere will have food for the likes of you at this hour. After all," she looks out the window and says, "not many places like to stay open once the skies have gotten dark."
Well, what's it to know?
Where are you from?
I'm from Mushroom Kingdom.
The what?
In the Jolt?
Cholt. Oh, Cholt. Of course.
Yes.
Yes. That's exotic.
This is where I am from.
Tell me about Cholt. Sit.
Mm.
And
Yes, I'll pull up a chair, I guess.
She switches her tone hugely and says, "Attic, go get them all some food." She smiles and turns back to you and says, "You will have a dinner shortly."
Just turn and look at Brittany like, Jolt has a good food. Really a good food. Lots of strange creatures. pretty good.
Good food like mushroom stew, I assume, since you come from the Mushroom Kingdom.
No. That's a little bit of a misnomer.
Oh, I see. You're not one of those mushroom people, are you?
No, I'm a not. I have a
Oh.
mushroom people of friends, though.
Ah,
Well, I did. Todd, he's in the prison. He went to a prison.
For
Todd
what?
was not a good man. We were good friends for a long time, but he and I we didn't. He did some
got into
bad
some
things.
bad things. What?
Really bad
A
things.
smuggler, a murderer.
Hmm. He dealt in many things.
You hear one of the other three say, "Alenka, play your hand." She's oh, right. She puts down a card, mostly without looking, and says, "Huh. Are those the kind of people that you tend to make friends with, or was he sort of just a bad person?"
No, it's just it turned out to be a bad person. I had become good friends with him. Just visiting the castle and such, because he had worked in there as kind of a steward, and I hired to offer my artisan crafts to the royalty.
Ah, you're an artisan.
Yes,
What do you make?
plumbing.
I huh? I do not know what plumbing is.
Oh,
What is it? You plum? What is it? You put plums on things? You pick
like the
plums from
fruit?
the royal? Yes.
No,
Oh,
no.
well, tell me. Tell me.
I dig trenches, and I lay the pipe in the trenches, and we water pumps and water drains. So, like, latrines that go in the house.
You can
A
see
sink,
that using words
a
that are
drain.
not technical at all to us, but like technical in that time.
Yeah.
Nobody's heard of a latrine before in this place. So you say that word, and you see the glaze, over the ends.
It's like where you put your piss and your shit.
In outhouse. Why do you call it a latrine? Just call it what it is.
Oh, but it's an in-house outhouse,
Why would you put one in your house?
so you don't have to go outside.
But then it stinks everything up. That's
No,
barbaric.
what I do with the plumbing, okay? I make the pipes and I actually create an air trap to catch all of the stink, so it doesn't come back up out of the hole.
If you trap this stink with air.
Yes,
Where do you put the air to trap this stink? In the pipes?
it's in the pipe. Yeah.
Huh. What the? So the pipe, kind of like a pipe, would be just a long tube. Is that what you mean?
Yes,
Oh,
along
okay,
the tube.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
Preferably something that the water won't destroy. So metal is a good, really good.
But water destroys metal. What kind of metal?
Yeah, just wrought iron.
Gold? You make gold
No.
Oh. Oh, too fine, I
Too
suppose.
fine. Yeah, it's touching shit.
You said you worked in a castle. The royals don't have golden pipes.
No. Nothing so ostentatious for a peach and her sister. So, no.
A peach.
Yeah.
You know the royalty by her first name.
Yes.
Ah, I see.
It's a nothing. It's a worker thing. It happens. But anyhow, I mean, that's a bit about
You hear
the.
a cough interrupt what you're saying behind you, and you look to see that Eric has returned with a plate of fruits and dried meats, which are not quite travel jerky, but they are definitely more charcuterie, if you will. Hard salami, perhaps.
Grazie.
Cheese. Huh? What? Yeah,
Uh,
goodbye. he stumbles off, while the rest of you have already received your food. Alenka turns back to you and says, "Yeah." She turns to the other two at the table and says, not so covertly from behind her cards, "This man lays pipe and knows the royalty by first name."
That's the quote of the night right there, guys. There it is. There it is, guys. In the campaign doesn't get any better than this.
The other two turn and say,
all of that is
"I
true.
don't understand what you."
I mean, I could
your cards,
go
Alenka.
through. Is this your place? I'm sorry. What's your
She
name?
turns back to you and says, "My name is Alenka. This is our
Alenka.
place. This is our tavern. Yes."
Elenka, nice to meet you. I'm Emirio.
Emilio. It's a nice name.
Thank you. I got it for my birthday. I see your place here. This is no commitment, but I could actually measure some things and like run a quota for you, and for real cheap, I could probably get this get some nice plumbing in this place if you'd like it.
Hey, real
Oh,
fast, how old are
we
these
don't.
guys?
We don't have to. We don't have the money for.
No. I do it for very little money.
Oh,
Very little. You name your price, I'll do it for that price.
Sure.
So long as we can work out an arrangement where me and my friends can get some food every once in a while, maybe 2-3 times a week.
We could do that. Yeah. How about we pay you? We pay you. We pay you 1 gold every week, and we also pay for your food.
That sounds good to me.
It's a deal. Now, go enjoy yourself with your friends. We'll be seeing you around.
It's nice to meet you. I'm if you don't mind, I'm gonna look around at this place, and just kind of see what I'll need to make this happen for you.
Oh no, it is too dark right now. Come back in the morning when there is more light around.
No, sure, yeah, whenever. I might just eyeball some things here and now. Do you have maybe a pen, quill, and a paper?
Yeah, we could have that ready for you, but we don't have it right now, and we're very sorry. She goes to play another card and actually considers it because the last card she played seems to be quite bad.
Well, sorry, I'll leave you to it. I'll see you in the morning. We'll work that out another time. That's fine.
See you tomorrow, Muriel.
Yes, Alenka. I'll get up and take my food and go and join Brittany and Victor.
You hear the hollow sound of somebody getting smacked with a hand of cards, and then like, what? And then by that point, you go back to the tavern bar.
Aiden, to the barkeep, do you wouldn't happen to have any like meats, like steaks or
Meat?
anything?
What are you
Meats,
talking
you know,
about?
like venison or
Meat?
yes.
No. If you want to eat, you have to go hunt or you have to find the butcher. We don't sell that here.
Oh, alright.
This is a place for drink. Everybody here is drinking, you see?
I do, thank you. The butcher. Where might I find a butcher?
He's out there.
Just out
He
there.
points to the door.
God.
He's out there. You'll find him out there somewhere.
Somewhere. He doesn't have an establishment. It's he just kind of walks
Uh,
around.
he does. So I've been there somewhere, but I do not know.
Mm.
Do you want
How
another
long,
cup of
Victor?
wine?
No.
No? Okay. I'm going to go clean some more things. And he steps approximately 2 steps to the side, picks up a dirty mug, and starts cleaning it out.
All right. Well, as Mirio makes his way back, Mo, do we have any sightings of our automaton friend?
Victor shakes his head no. No, but I don't exactly believe them. But I've also been told I'm paranoid. I don't believe it though. It's not paranoid if everybody's out to get you.
I guess that's true.
It's around then that I think, Brittany, you notice a fair but rugged looking man in the corner. Somebody who isn't as dour as the rest of the individuals. In a sense, somewhat like the ladies that you just went to speak to, in that his eyes are not half-lidded and his shoulders do not droop. He holds himself with some semblance of self-respect and vitality.
And I'm still just by Victor and
Yeah.
Miro right now? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lean
Notice-
it back and be like, who do you guys think that hottie is? He seems to be the only one who doesn't look like a bore in this bar.
Hey, I don't look like a bore.
No, of course not, Mirio. I'm talking about the locals.
I have a nice mustache.
You do. It's very nice. You look very good with your mustache. But the point being...
The barkeep is like, it's a very
People who live
good
here.
mustache.
Why does he just sound like Nandor?
We'll get back to that. Brittany. You said the point being, and then I interrupted you. What were you going to follow with?
The point being, most other people who are here from the area look kind of super lame. So maybe he would also have some interesting info. Thoughts?
You all turn to see the man. He does seem to hold a sort of interest about him.
Has he been eyeing us, or is he just minding his business?
He watched as you came in, and if you were looking, you might have made eye contact in that way that strangers who are just aware of a room might be. Also, you stand out quite a bit, so you've been getting looks here and there, except from Eric, the barkeep.
Well, Brittany, if you want to give him a try, if he's a hottie, you could maybe talk him up nice.
You get assent from Aiden, Brittany. He seems to be on board with the idea of talking to the man that you just pointed out.
What?
Well,
Aiden seems to agree with you.
Yeah,
oh,
I'm not. Someone else started the conversation. I don't really know if I'm the type of person he looks like he'd want to talk to.
I can't.
Usually
be
the
talking
guys
to
I think
him.
are
That would
super
be
hot
so
don't want to
uncoral.
talk to me.
I find that hard to believe. I think you're probably the only one of us he might want to talk to. But I guess I can lead. And I guess I will walk over to the man.
Does anybody else go?
I'll follow, because at this point I'll like have finished a drink and been kind of tired of just sitting.
I
Yeah,
will,
I'll join as well.
I'll sit at the bar right here so I'm in earshot, but not that I'll be in the group.
You walk over to the table, and as your boots tread across the wooden floorboards, the man looks up. His hair is fair, yellow but like flax, and his brow is straight, and his eyebrows are bushy. He looks at you with eyes that seem to have seen much, and yet it's as if he hasn't traveled much at the same time. A little bit of
Okay.
stubble marks across his chin and over his mouth, and as he looks up to you with long locks of hair kind of falling across the fine tunic that he wears, he says, "Ah, yes. Come, sit." He closes a journal. "I was hoping that you would come to speak with me."
Oh,
And that
Really?
is where we're going to close tonight's session.
Hey yo.
oh.
Right at 10 o'clock.
Hey, you should
Nice.
probably move your character, Brad, so you remember where you're at.
Bless you.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Gesundheit. This has been another episode of The Beckoning Mists.
Yeah.
I hope you all enjoyed this session, and I hope that our next session is just as spooky and filled with
Yeah.
just as much intrigue and character development. I had a lot of fun tonight. I hope you did
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Yay, baby's walking!
Oh,
Look at him!
Oh
Oh,
my gosh!
What a
He's
show
walking
off.
away.
Tonight,
Yep.
Tonight?
He just
during D&D.
Yeah, he
That's his
just
first
walked
time.
away. Yeah, those were his first like consecutive. Like he just took 6 steps in a row and then
Let's
sat down.
go.
Gosh.
He's standing
That's
up
awesome.
again.
We were there for that.
I was here.
Oh, look at
It
him,
was
dude.
there.
Hi, buddy.
Come on, dude.
Do it again.
Can you come to me?